I got him. Yep, over there. He's down. Behind me. You got him?
He just did. Please tell me you got that bitch.
I got him.
Finish her. Come get me, man.
You're not finished yet.
Ah, behind me, bro. Fuck, his partner was behind me.
How long you got?
Coming in now.
Fuck! Don't land on me.
I'm landing on the roof.
Man, that was a stupid bitch that we was killing earlier, bro.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy J.ithegamer here. I hope you guys having a fantastic day. For today's YouTube video, we're going to be talking about Warzone. Is Warzone going to save Call of Duty or not? Because this is what Activision is trying to do, you guys. They're trying to save Call of Duty with the Battle Royale. One of the biggest story always has been Fortnite. Fortnite has been the blueprint of Battle Royale and PUBG, but Fortnite is mainly the biggest star in the Battle Royale community. Now, the second one, I would say Apex Legends. I think Apex Legends is probably a little more popular than Warzone right now. And my question to you guys is, and this topic that we're going to be talking about today is Warzone going to save Call of Duty or not? Because one of the biggest flaws right now on pretty much the last 2-3 Call of Duty has been Warzone has to be the blueprint. Warzone has to be what's going to continue bringing these Call of Duty players and other players into the community. But what Activision have not yet to realize, you guys, is basically that multiplayer has to be Call of Duty blueprint. Now, as you guys know, Warzone has been one of the biggest stories since he basically first showed up in the scene, and it was like really popular. But the one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that it is those multiplayer freaks, those multiplayer casual players and hardcore players that just love just playing multiplayer. Now, I'm one of those players where I'm just always on the multiplayer, you guys, and Warzone has to be one of the ones that like, oh, I want to jump into Warzone just to see if I can have fun, and sometimes you're gonna find yourself not having fun. And this gameplay right here is basically what this is about, you guys. Fortnite is a lot different than Warzone. Warzone is like, I don't know, if you don't have that good squad, if you don't have that squad, those friends that are almost on your level, or even if one of your friends is not on your level, if you only have like one or two friends, it's just not good enough. You to be able to actually have fun in Warzone, you have to have a lot of friends. Having just one friend, it does not work, you guys, especially since they have skill-based matchmaking, SBMM in Warzone implemented as well. I think that's one of the biggest flaws in Warzone. But my thing is, you guys understand why Activision is pushing so hard on Warzone to save the multiplayer, to save Call of Duty, because it's not gonna happen. One of the biggest things that they really need to implement into, you know, newer Call of Duties from this point forward is basically focus on the multiplayer separated from the Battle Royale. If they can just go ahead and split the Battle Royale, you know, Warzone and the multiplayer, I think that would be the first step into actually make this a lot better, you guys. I think that, you know, Warzone and the multiplayer are too connected. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, so when Warzone 2 first came out, I noticed that they were taking sections from the map and they were using those locations to make multiplayer maps. Instead of actually dropping new content, something brand new, you're gonna start seeing similar and familiar things that you actually seen already on Warzone, and you're gonna see on the multiplayer. We're talking about ground war and the 6v6. So that right there actually shows me that they focus too much on Warzone and they're trying to build everything around Warzone. So they not emphasizing multiplayer, and then I feel like that show how lazy they are, and they're not dropping new content for the multiplayer, you guys. It's the other way around. They're trying to emphasize Warzone more than the multiplayer. And basically everything, the whole Modern Warfare 2 is basically all about Warzone, you guys. If you got to think about this though, Warzone came out, I will say, you guys, what, 2 months, maybe a month, 2 months after the multiplayer came out. When the multiplayer first came out, and you know, when the multiplayer first came out, a lot of people was hype on the multiplayer. A lot of people was actually loving the multiplayer. If you guys remember, they made the recoil on the weapons really realistic, and then after that, it just felt like everything was just different. You know, as soon as Warzone came out, nobody wanted to go back to the multiplayer. The few people that actually went back to the multiplayer actually got bored and tried to jump into Warzone. But then they realized that Warzone wasn't it. Warzone wasn't where they wanted to be. They didn't like the direction of the new Warzone. So what they did, they ended up abandoning the multiplayer and they abandoned Warzone. The reason why they abandoned the multiplayer is because they felt that if Warzone is not any good, I don't even see the point of playing the multiplayer. And that to me is not the way that they should have handled the whole multiplayer and Warzone being together. They should have split everything up. They should have actually had the new Warzone come out at least 4 to 5 months after the multiplayer. Push everything you have on the multiplayer. Push as hard as you can on the multiplayer, as far as content, as far as maps, as far as weapons and things like that. And then you drop the Warzone like 4 to 5 months after people already getting kind of like fatigued a little bit of the multiplayer. And then you're gonna have the people like, okay, that's when you kind of integrate Warzone and multiplayer, meaning that you have to complete certain things on the multiplayer to get in Warzone. You know what I'm saying? That way you actually have people actually trying to play both. But what you guys, you know, I'm talking to Activision right now, you guys. What they did was basically they dropped Warzone right after the multiplayer. It was no reason for people that were playing the multiplayer to play Warzone, because it just felt like you playing, it's basically the same thing. You're not really gaining anything on the multiplayer that you need on Warzone. You can just get whatever you want to get on Warzone. So it just felt it needs to be separated first, and if you want to put it together after, then that's fine. But I don't know, you guys, man. Let me know what you guys think about multiplayer and Warzone. I really don't believe that Warzone is going to save the multiplayer. I feel like they really need to emphasize more multiplayer focus. And that's why, you know, XDefiant is doing. XDefiant is focusing straight up on that 6v6 hardcore multiplayer. Instead of, you know, trying to come out with Battle Royale and try to copy everybody else. I feel like if they focus so much on the multiplayer, they reinvent the multiplayer or try to actually make it almost like XDefiant, where it's almost like, you know, original, you know, MW2, MW3 type of multiplayer where it's running gun, not too much stuff, not too much attachments on the weapon. Like you can, instead of implementing, like for example, the way they implemented the gunsmith, if they can just make it simple where it's a whole bunch of attachments, a whole bunch of weapons, but you don't have to do the whole blueprints. And I don't know, it just like I feel like the multiplayer just they try to put too much in it and people didn't care for it. So they should just make it simple, make it hardcore. And as you can see right here, man, I'm trying to actually have fun with random people, right? And then as you can see, I'm playing and I'm not having fun because when you play with randoms, they either leave, or the people that stay with you don't either don't communicate with you, or they don't know what they're doing. Now when you play with friends, it's like if you don't have that many friends that are actually playing, you know, Warzone, then what do? That's why the multiplayer is always the best way to play Call of Duty, because the multiplayer is like you can go to matchmaking and then you're gonna play 6v6. Even if you're playing with random, in 6v6 you can still handle, you know, you can still, you know, implement yourself and try to win the match or whatever. But anyway, that's it. That's my thoughts, you guys. Let me know, what do you guys think about the multiplayer Warzone? Is Activision actually doing it wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. Drop a like in this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.